Hello everybody, welcome back to Cornbelt, Farming Simulator 17 map made by Kester. I think he's a German modder, and I think a version was also made for Farm Sim 15. Well, we've had a long slog here, and you'll notice we have one more pass to do. You can kind of tell just where the line is, where we've been planting. We have a massive, let's see, what are we planting in here? Wheat? Yes, it's good old wheat. This is a massive, massive field. Now remember, this is a 16x map. So 16 of the standard sized maps, 4x4 if you will, 4 along this edge, 4 along that edge. So basically this field is about half again larger than a standard sized map. You know, if someone were to plant the entire thing all across. We are on the 11th day of spring. Let me see if I can get this Cornbelt to turn on. I'm gonna just hire, I think. We're set up just to go up to the edge. It's long and straight, so we should make it to the other end. But this has, you know, it's been a while since I've done an episode on here. I've actually played the map in the background a number of times when I've had other things going on. There really isn't much to do, admittedly, and I'll just repeat again something I've said a number of times. This game, for me, has been one of the greatest screensavers that I've ever had. You know, you can just get this going, and as you can see over here, we're not losing seed or fertilizer in the planting process very quickly. I could even turn that part off if I wanted to. You know, I do have a truck. Yeah, there's one sitting here. Do I have another truck out here? Oh, it appears I do. I bet it's by this little dot down here. One has seed, one has fertilizer. I think we should be able to make this whole pass no problem. And then we're going to be done. And matter of fact, I just as well hop out of here and head over to our equipment here, and this one here, I think I am just going to send him home. We probably already have the route. Yes, field number 18 to home. It served its purpose. You know, the fertilizer, we haven't used all that much fertilizer on this field at all. Very little. And I kind of think this is the original truckload full, so we're wait a minute now. Helpers completed their task. New. Is that a glitch that we had? I'll never check that out. I don't know why he would stop right where he is. Let's just put him on drive home. Let's go check out our tractor. That's kind of bizarre. I really don't know why. Let me check and see if... Oh, we even have done maintenance in the field. Oh, it doesn't like that at all. That's just fascinating. I'm not sure why that is, but it appears we're going to have to do it manually. Let's turn on our GPS. We'll just do it the old school way. There's apparently something, you know, I do seem to recall that. I don't know if it's a glitch in the Farm Sim 17 that for some reason will stop higher when you're on the edge of the field. Let me see if I can do it here. No, he doesn't like that. All right, well, what can I say? Oops, I think I need to put that down. start planting. I maybe should pause and send the other one out, but you know what, if I'm going to run out of anything, it's probably going to be fertilizer, so, or excuse me, seed, and I don't anticipate that being a problem. But I've been running this in the background as I've worked, as I've done other things on my computer. I don't know if any of you all ever do that, but this field has taken a long, long time. I did it through the night, and I almost think, I'd have to remember now, what I can't remember is if this has been 24 hours or 48 hours. You know, whether it's been 2 whole days. Maybe it's just 24 hours. A little over 24. I think on this 25th, I'm working on the 26th hour. We won't get too far in there. I kind of think I started 6 a.m.-ish. And good thing I didn't show all of that on here. People would really be sleeping more than they are. But this is the nature of a big map, and you know, after I'm done, I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, I think it is time to retire this planter. It's and I just want to get the larger one. The larger one, oh, I'd have to stop the machine. I think it's gonna be maybe out to here where my cursor is, just a little bit wider. And you know, in a field this size, I can't imagine it's materially gonna feel much different in terms of planting it. All I will say is this is much wider than the combine header, for example. I only have one combine, or I've only ever used one. Plus, it is going at 6 miles an hour, which is, you know, 50% faster than a combine would travel. So, if it takes a long time to plant, you can imagine how long it's going to take to harvest. And if I choose to get bales off of this field, I mean, there's a ton of work awaiting on this particular field, just it alone. So there is time. You know, I think I'm on 12-day seasons now, and here it's late spring. Got one more day of spring just to try to fit all the work in. I think previously I was doing it on 9 days. There is time in between the seasons. You know, once the field here is done, you know, I could go make some hay. I don't really need any hay at the moment. I could cut some grass and harvest it for the sheep. I don't really need any at the moment. I have so much in storage after doing this a couple of years, and the acres are so huge that when you harvest it once, and you know, you end up stacking up a whole bunch of inventory. You know, it'd be kind of interesting at a certain point, you know, if a script or something could be developed for the seasons to know, you know, that just a rot. You know, I've got so much grass in there that it should have rotted a long time ago, but it just doesn't, you know, once it's in storage. But there are a few other things we can do. I could purchase more property. I could haul grain to the refinery, or rather canola, so we could process it into fuel. I think we still need some down there. Maybe that's something I'll try. I don't know, I'll give it some thought once I get all the machinery home. And this one here I need to haul off to the sell point to dispense with it. It'll be a while before we need to use the drill again, not till this fall, after all the crops are in. But I guess what I'm trying to say is there are a few gaps in between the flurry of work. You know, this is the only field I had to plant for in the spring. If I had to plant all of them in the spring, I mean, you can see how long I have to wait just to be able to plant this. You know, it took forever for winter to kind of, you know, get thawed off. And you can even still see, clear down there, you see the white. There is still snow on the ground, even though we were on the cusp of summer, no less. So I don't know. There will be 12 days. We're going to be waiting here for our crops to ripen. And they will take their sweet time. If I just consult that real quick, and I'm gonna stop. Here we sit here in spring. Oh, the first wheat. I mean, this wheat that we're planting here probably isn't gonna be harvestable to clear over here, so we'll be harvesting it last. But we have a substantial chunk of summer to go by before we're even ready to harvest. So I may shorten the days just to try to get the summer over quicker, just to get into harvest season, but we'll see. I know definitely the last 4 days of summer will be steady harvest and 100% of fall. And at the same time we're harvesting, we're going to be baling, and we're going to be planting for the next crop, assuming we get to that point. And so there's going to be tons to do. Some days, like I say, there's a gap, and you can sometimes you even fast forward because there isn't much to do. But then there's other days where every second is precious, and you can't waste any of it. Oh, I love to see that. Look at all those sunny days. The trouble is they're on the front end of summer, and I want all those sunshine days kind of on the back end of summer and into the fall. I've had it before. I think this was on Farm Sim 19, where I had a year I couldn't get all my crop in. And maybe that's true to life. What do I know? I mean, in this case, I think for Farm Sim 19, it was corn. It was wet, and it wouldn't let me harvest. And I think there is a moisture setting you can turn off. They probably have it on this version too. And maybe I should have just harvested it. But, I recall traveling in the Midwest part of the U.S. some time ago and seeing past January, or into January, there were even standing fields of corn in the snow. Somehow or other they weren't able to harvest it in the fall. Don't know why. And they probably had to wait till spring. I mean, it must have been a mess trying to get all that taken care of, because they got another crop they need to plant. So it must have made for some stress on those farmers. So we know it's possible, that you may not get the crop in the fall due to conditions. But it sure doesn't happen very often in here, unless you persist in doing it the way I do, and just having a one machine policy, or kind of a minimalist approach to things. And you can see just how long this is taking us. We're approaching the far end here now, finally. But it's taken, I'm just looking at my timer here to see how many minutes it took by. I think I'm at 12 minutes. So it is, probably by the time we get down here, 13 minutes a turn. I mean, you think about that, this whole field, and pass after pass after pass. I mean, almost a half an hour just to go down and back. I mean, that's one whale of a large field. So, now look at that. I need to come pick up some stuff in the field. There's some, I think that's particle board over there. How it ends up over there is a continued mystery. I can't remember if I commented on it in a previous episode, but there are some glitches sometimes with palleted products, and I don't know what causes it. All I know is that sometimes when you're traveling with them on a truck, that will sometimes fling them clear across the map, and I think it has something to do with the auto load feature. I don't know if anybody else uses that. I am horrible with forklifts and front loaders, to handle bales and pallet objects. So most of those I just choose to auto load. Well, sometimes I've noticed when you auto load something onto a flatbed, it leaves an empty spot. Let's say your flatbed has room for 12 pallets, and you have 12 pallets on the ground. Well, it will pick up all of the pallets, meaning you won't see any of them on the ground, But when you look on the trailer, there's only 11. And it's like, well, where did the one pallet go? Well, we know where one of them went. It flung it clear over here, and for the life of me, I don't know why that happens. I just occasionally have to come around, and it's just kind of a pain because it's way off the beaten trail. I mean, shoot, I don't come down here very often. I don't have any other fields over here kind of in this corner, so to come pick up a pallet that's sitting over here is kind of off of the beaten trail. But I suppose I did just get done saying that there would be a little time to do other kinds of things a little bit ago. So maybe that's something we can do. While I'm heading down the road here, I'll get it off of field mode. Oh, that was kind of a fiasco. When you set up a field course and it takes forever and a day just to unlock the game. I think this is point to point. Let me go as field 18 to home. Home. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Is there something to the store? That's really what I should be looking for. And you know this tractor, how old is it? 290 hours? I probably, by all rights, should be selling the tractor too while I'm at it. Just getting don't even need to buy a new one at the moment, I don't think. But anyway, let me see. Do I have one to the store? I don't know that I do. See, ready to storage. Can you drive and pick a course at the same time? Storage. Home. Sure. Aha, home to store. Alright, you know what? I probably have to do 18 to home, and then I'll go home to store. That's kind of a lazy way to do it, but I got a couple other things to do here. I'll at least get it going. 18 to home. And right down here, I think the course starts. And then we got a truck over here that's already at home. And there we go. Stop at the last point. Now let's go find our truck. Good lad. Stopped. Okay, I think we're going to refill him while we're sitting here. Try to charge us a little money. You know, I don't know if I mentioned it before or not, but fertilizer is one of the things you can make in the map. I think when I've done it, rather than use... Oh, wait a minute. Is it this one over here? I think it's a stall one. Yeah, I'll get in the right one. I have made some of it, but what I've done with it is just sold it versus using it myself. And I almost think the reason is, and this may be one thing that's a little out of balance, is it was so lucrative. You take loads down there, it's just like a money machine cranking it out. And I think what you got for it was way more than it cost, you know, just to put it in the ground. So I figured, you know, this is something I don't think you can haul it on the train, but maybe you can. But I just figured I would buy it for when I needed it over here. And you know, I could be mistaken. Even as I say that, I gotta see. My memory is maybe a little short. For all I know, I have a bunch of it in storage. Oh, nope, I don't have any in storage, so good to know. We are just refilling this. You'd probably never ever do this in real life, where you refill your truck. Actually, speaking of truck, let me go. We got one more to collect at the field. Let me get this one going down the road. And, oh yeah, we're already on 18 at home. We'll just try to take this out the normal way. Yeah, this pesky snow is still sticking around. You know, I appreciate the fact that it sort of melts off gradually, but it sure seems like, you know, this is probably where there is not something broken, but it's a matter of balance in the game engine. You know, when people ask for realism, well, the snow probably melts at a realistic pace if you're talking real days. But when we look at, there's only 12 days for spring, and ordinarily there's 3 months. Well, if you look at a few days at the front of spring, I mean, this would all melt basically the first day, maybe the second day if you have a 12-day spring. But whatever. Point is we just have a few of these piles of snow still sticking around. Last winter was an absolute doozy, and it just snowed all winter long, so whenever I would blow it out of the way, more would pile up, and so those piles have just taken a long time to melt and get out of here. I think I parked it over here. Is that where I had stuff? Maybe, kinda, sorta. And of course, yeah, look at that. Driving through snow. Please don't get high center. Been there, done that. Was a pain in the rear. Test my backing up skills going in reverse. Reverse camera, rather. Alright, I don't know that I need to do anything with the trucks yet, so maybe I'll just leave them set. And let me see, how's my tractor doing? Alright, that's coming along. Go to my truck. Also is coming along. It's going to end up catching the tractor. So once again, the distances on here are just huge. You know, you saw me turn it loose, so the tractor has a long ways to go home. Tractor was way over here. Now it's muscling its way just across the bridge over here, so it'll be pulling into the barnyard before too long. And you know, in the grand scheme of things, a 16x map, while it's huge in game, in real life, I mean, we still gotta remember it's still not that big. It's 4 regular size maps kind of on an edge. So in each map, a regular size map is about 2 kilometers, I believe. So we're only talking 8 kilometers on a side. Go back to our tractor. Let's make sure it can negotiate the turn. Actually, you know, well, when he gets around the corner, we're gonna stop him and pick a different route, because while we just won't force him to go to the full barnyard. And alright, get out of the way of our truck that we know is coming. We're going to take him over the bridge. If I can steer with my left hand. Alright, go down to home to... And we're going to end up getting rid of a bunch of fertilizer on this. You know, that's one neat thing about the new version of the game. I think that they when you sell something, if I recall correctly, they either pay you for the fertilizer and seed that's in it, or they drop it outside of the vehicle so you can kind of recover it. To the store. Alright, tractor. There you go. This guy, meanwhile, is hauling in. We will intercept him and open him up and fill him too while we're at it. And as with the fertilizer, you can also make your own seed in this map. It all happens down here kind of in the refinery area. There are several stations kind of along here. One of which you make fertilizer, the other you make the coated seeds for planting, in addition to everything else. So there's that's quite a hub of activity down there. And I can't remember it's obviously way more valuable. You know, if we took it all down there, every seed that we had, and coated it and treated it as seeds and sold it, we would make more money even than what we see it sitting in our bank account. You know, already we have way more than we need. So once again, I just buy the seeds I need. I don't even make seeds down there anymore. It kind of like the fertilizer was just so lucrative that basically gave it up. Alright, do you need fixing? 17 hours? Nope, you don't. Alright, let's just, oops. Close this puppy up. How come there we go. Did I, where do I park this? You know what, I think I put him down here a little bit. So we'll get you parked and put away in the shed, and then we're probably gonna have to go catch our tractor and make sure he's on course. Actually, I think this truck is the one we use up in the woods. It isn't even the one we use typically down here. That's okay. Alright, where's our tractor? Just enjoying all these spring colors in here. I still think Farm Sim 17 is probably one of my favorites of the franchise. I know some of the newer versions have pretty flashy graphics. But this here, I don't know. I just think it was pretty balanced. Oh, there's a spot that's open in the field. Oh, maybe that's the impact of seasons. I'm trying to remember if seasons in the 17 version had some of those features where part of the crop could literally fail depending on the settings that you had. I don't know if we have some of that in here. Crop moisture, snow track, snow mode. Yeah, but we don't have that here. Whatever. There's a whole field of grass down here that would be ripe for cutting into hay. Oh, excuse me, wrong one. I guess it's over here. And speaking of that, makes me wonder if it needs some fertilizer. If I could at least take care of, I kind of think I've already fertilized everything. No, I haven't. Well, now, there's something I can do. It could use another layer of fertilization down here, over here, and up here, so I may have something for us to do. As soon as we get, well, actually, I do have this tractor. Now, do my sheep need anything to eat? Cattle look fine, sheep are fine, sure. Why don't we, let me put this up again the wall. Put it up again the wall, as my grandpappy would say. X, I don't need that. And I'm gonna zip home and go find me the fertilizer spreader. We're going to take some proper care. Oh, what did I do the ad for? I am such a creature of habit. I don't need the ad know-how. We are going to head home. Let's see, we'll go sheep to home. Is that kind of what I need? And sheep to home. Watch out, I don't. Oh, he's gonna, okay, let me see here. He's having trouble getting in the gate. Okay, I think that's okay. Get him to stop when he gets it home. Let's go back to our... Yeah, we made this course probably with our little pickup, and the pickup isn't gonna count for every size of machine. Boy, I hope that fits in the gate. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Just take the course off, and probably gonna have to sell this thing piece by piece. So long, old friend. We'll bring it. Oop, run into the building while we're at it and knock some sense in. Is this where I need to go? Let's see. Yes. You can see $7,600. I am not getting hardly anything for that. Oh. All of a sudden, I am popping some Lua errors. Well, that's not good. Boy, this, maybe it's just in time for the bell because I'm starting to stutter a little bit. I don't know what I just did. But I have obviously, is it still going? Yeah, it's still going. I'm filling up my log file. This will probably just add to it. That's very interesting. I'll have to study the ad and see what caused it. In the meantime, I'm going to sell that. And you know something? I think it stopped. I wonder if those two were somehow connected, and when you sell them one at a time, it pops an error. I don't know. All I know is I am not getting jack for selling these things, so... Alright, so long, tractor. Whoa. Wait a minute here now. 100... How old was this thing? 290 hours. Well, I'm gonna sell it anyhow. We obviously have plenty of money. It's an old tractor by farming sim standards. Folks, those are 290 real-time hours. Let's do the decency. We'll repair it at least for the dealership, and there we go. Silence. Well, the bell is rung, and I think that'll put a stop on this episode here. Thank you so much for coming along to watch a little play on a very large and wonderful farming sim app, Cornbelt by Caster. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit we can do here. When you got a large map, it's pretty hard really to get a whole lot done in a particular session, and even this guy here we're going to be putting to work shortly, spreading some fertilizer. So hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.